Before we go back to the phones, I just have to be honest. This hit me a certain way. Like, I saw it, and I think I was supposed to be like, that's amazing. And I was like, hey, get your hands out of our cookie jar.
I know where you're going.
What are you doing, New York Mets? You can't retire Willie Mays' number. He's not yours. He's ours. Get your hands off of our Willie Mays. You can't retire his, great. If Willie loves this, I'll back off and go away. And I guess probably on some level, why wouldn't he?
He does.
But this felt so weird and so wrong. You can't go celebrate Willie Mays. How long was he there? 12 at bats? I mean, what was?
Well, he played 51 through 57
in New York. I got it.
Came up as a giant in New York. There's a lot of fans there, a lot of older fans at this point. But yeah, a lot of fans there who, he's a son of New York.
Should we retire Oral Hershiser's jersey?
No.
Here in San Francisco?
No.
Randy Johnson, should we retire his jersey?
Steve Carlton.
What are we doing? No, that's just weird. If the Yankees and Mets had gotten together and done this is a New York thing, we're never wearing that number again in New York because he's also a New York legend, I might have felt differently. But the Mets doing it by themselves, I'm like, no, he's not yours.
Well, okay,
you don't
first
get
of
to
all,
do this.
I'm basically with you. First of all, they never should have traded him to the Mets. Joan Payson could take care of him financially. Horace Stoneham could not. That was the promise that Joan made to Horace when the deal was made. Is that if you make this deal and we trade you Charlie Williams, I think it was 1972, for Willie Mays, we will take care of Willie after his career. So, and the fact that Willie's now 91, he's a baseball treasure. I agree with the notion that baseball should retire his number 24 across the sport. He was that impactful. I'd rather see that than the Mets do it solely. But you know what? His son was there. He's 91. He's obviously in favor of this, so God bless the Mets for doing it. But it does feel odd, but it felt odd that they even traded him at all. I mean, to the Mets.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. I wasn't even alive yet. So it's hard to get hot and bothered about that. I just know that I saw it, and I wanted to just be happy for Willie, but I was like, what?
Well, and why didn't they do it years ago?
Right.
What
Where's this coming from?
It's so out of left field right now. But
are the Chiefs going to have Joe Montana Day tomorrow, and we're supposed to? No.
Yeah.
Leave this alone. Not yours.
I know.
It's ours.
He's a giant. He's a San Francisco giant. But
get away from me.
They feel like they're part of the Willie Mays story, and you know what? As long as Willie's happy with it, I'm happy with it. Yeah. And Willie's 91, and Willie doesn't get talked about. And believe it or not, I mean, in my opinion, he doesn't get talked about enough. We don't talk about Willie enough.
The best baseball player ever.
Exactly. Yeah. Best baseball player ever. He was the most talented player in baseball's most talented era. So how he doesn't get recognized more is, to me, already kind of something that should be corrected. So if this goes any distance to making him recognized more as the iconic player that he was, then, God bless the Mets. But it did seem kind of weird.
No, I like what you say there, because it's just it's not like I'm actually hot and bothered.
Right.
It's not a problem. It's
that's our
guy. A nice moment, but I'm just where'd that go? I have to be honest. I saw it. And I was like, no, you don't get to celebrate Willie out there at Citi Field or whatever the hell you play. No, get your hands off our stuff.
Now, are the Seahawks going to retire Jerry's number?
Exactly. Are the Raiders going to retire every 49ers jersey that's already retired? I mean, anyway.